Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs, and I think we need to have ourselves a little talk. So, there's a freaking uproar right now about the new Fire Emblem game and the new changes it will implement. The first is the removal of weapon durability, and the second one being Phoenix mode. In this video, I'll give my personal thoughts about these two new features, since there's already a bunch of comments about them on my other videos. So the first feature of the new Fire Emblem game is apparently that weapons no longer have durability. I am still not entirely sure if this is going to be a thing you can turn on and off, kinda like casual and classic mode in Awakening, but I actually don't mind this change either way. First of all, the new Fire Emblem game is not the first one to try this one out. It was actually done 24 years ago in Fire Emblem Gaiden, though Gaiden is perhaps the least played game in the series, so the argument may not hold a lot of merit. However, a lot of Fire Emblem fans have played Fire Emblem 4, Genealogy of the Holy War, and while weapons there were able to break, the game pretty much went ahead and gave you infinite uses, because you could repair all weapons, even legendary ones, in every castle. I enjoyed sticking a weapon on someone and have it be theirs, without worrying about having to replace it after hitting something 20 to 30 times. I personally don't mind infinite durability on weapons at all. Having weapons break was never one of the features I enjoyed about Fire Emblem in the first place. In fact, I kinda detest it. Having to constantly replace gear and stock up in advance is not a game mechanic I enjoy. In fact, I giggled like a little schoolgirl when I first got my hands on the Star Sphere for the first time in Fire Emblem 3, an item that prevents weapon durability from depleting. It felt so nice to actually use my weapons without feeling bad about it. In terms of actual difficulty though, I don't see infinite durability as a problem as long as they balance it around the other game mechanics. As a result of this change, weapons should be much more expensive and difficult to obtain, and I think that staves, at least beyond your standard healing ones, if they even exist, should still have durability, even if the weapons do not. Because let's face it, infinite warp staves is completely broken. We have to keep in mind, however, that the game is still under development, and things may still change, so let's all keep our pants on and see how things unfold. However, let's talk about the giant elephant in the room, shall we? Phoenix mode. Now, if you don't know what this is, it's basically an even more casual version of casual mode. Instead of having your dead units rejoin you in the next chapter, they instead respawn on the very next turn. I'm not sure if they're going to respawn on the location they died or back at your starting location, but either way, it's a very radical change to Fire Emblem as a whole, because we've never seen anything like this. Now, the argument that I see a lot of people are flinging around is, well, if you don't like Phoenix mode, don't play Phoenix mode. And it's true, I won't touch that mode with a 10-foot pole, but does the fact that I won't play something take away my rights to dislike it? I won't touch Lunatic Plus difficulty in Awakening with a 10-foot pole either, but I still think it's fucking terrible. As an old-school Fire Emblem fan, I want people to enjoy the game as much as possible, and I do understand that different people enjoy the game in different ways, but I personally feel like embracing the aspect of permadeath will make the game so much more enjoyable for you as a player. This is why I always encourage emulator players to avoid using save states, because loading every time you screw up was not how those games were meant to be played. The game wants you to restart the entire map as a punishment for not playing properly. It wants you to improve. Instead of simply retrying a bunch of times until you get lucky, you have to push yourself to get better at the actual game. Sure, when you die it really sucks, but nothing beats the satisfaction of finally clearing a horribly difficult chapter. However, I think it's pretty selfish to demand that a game should not include an easier difficulty just because you personally think players should enjoy the game the same way you do, at least to a certain degree. However, what's wrong with just including a very easy difficulty where new players are less likely to be punished for screwing up? So let me make a comparison. I really like chess. I've been playing it since I was a kid, and I participated in multiple national championships, almost winning the gold medal at the age of 12. I find many similarities between Fire Emblem and chess. They're both turn-based, they're both highly strategic, and your pieces are gone forever when you lose them. However, let's say a bunch of new players were to learn chess, only that every time they lost a piece, they were able to replace it back on the board the very next turn. I don't personally think they'd enjoy the game as much, and I don't think they would ever improve. They may have felt less frustrated whenever they lost a piece, but their total enjoyment of the game would plummet as a result. You see, there is some value in permanently losing something. It makes you appreciate it a hell of a lot more. If I take away your favorite toy, only to give it right back to you, you won't really feel anything special about the entire situation. To quote some random Vice guy, you don't really know what you have until you lose it, and that's the beauty with permadeath. It makes you appreciate the game a lot more. So to quickly summarize this whole rant, I think Phoenix mode is a bad idea, even if it is optional. Newer players will be drawn to it, and they won't necessarily develop the same love for Fire Emblem as a result. If they get too used to Phoenix mode, playing the game normally will feel way too tough and punishing, and they might just stop playing the game out of pure rage and frustration when they can't get past certain challenges. So that's my opinion on the whole matter. Now you have a video to discuss it in, rather than posting comments on my other videos. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and comments. My name has been Mangs, and I guess I'll see you next time. Goodbye.